here is what I have to make our faux batiks. Have a bottle of glue, a piece of cardboard for our messy mat. We have different types of acrylic, different colors of acrylic paint. I'm using the pour painting mix, but you can use regular acrylic paint too, and water. There are stamps in case you want to make some stamps on your fabric too. Today we are going to be doing some faux batiking, and we get two choices when we first start this process, and I'm going to tell you the first steps here, and then you can make your choice on how you want to make your faux batik. We're going to be using glue to resist the paint that we're going to use as dye to make this pattern. The first choice is you can create a resist with glue that has dried. So what I did was I used school glue here, and I created a pattern of a star shape. Actually, it's supposed to look more like a sun in the glue. And then I let it dry. So I just kind of put it on real thick, just like this, in the areas that I wanted to stay white. So that would be step one, and then you would let it dry for the next day. The other choice for step one would be to start batiking your project right away with some of your paint. I am going to batik my whole piece of fabric here with yellow paint and water. So I'm just going to dip my paintbrush into some water here off screen, and then I'm going to put it in with my yellow paints, and I am going to paint it all over with some yellow, and I'm going to add some water onto the fabric and then dip with some more paint and add water on. So it has kind of like a tie-dye effect. The more water, the thinner the paint will be, and the less yellow it will be, or the lighter yellow you will get. So I'm just going to cover my whole fabric in the one color, and that could be my first step before I start adding resist onto it, our glue. So filling the whole fabric with my yellow paint. That would be your two choices for step one. Draw your pattern on to protect the white, or paint your fabric its first color. Now I have my whole fabric painted one color. We're going to set this aside and let it dry. After your glue has fully dried, you can start putting your first paint color down. Remember, I've lightened this paint up with a little bit of water. I'm just going to quickly add the water and the acrylic paint onto the fabric. The next step is, after your fabric has dried with the first coat of paint on it, you're going to make a pattern with your glue. You can freehand the pattern, like I'm doing here. Or you can stamp the pattern. Now that the batik and the glue on your batik is dry, you can add another layer of color. So we're going to be sticking with the cool colors. For this one, we're going to do the warm colors for this one. We'll start with the warm colors first. So you could repeat this process one more time by doing like orange and then another layer of glue. But for time's sake, we're just going to use red and orange together. Normal to have to kind of pull your project from your messy mat or cardboard. So this one I've got released. Now I'm working on this one. Okay, we're going to start soaking it in warm water now. This one is the one that we used with the white background, and we used the cool colors. And we're going to soak it in the warm water just like the last one and remove the glue. Now that my batiks are dry, I wanted to show them to you. This is the batik we did where we painted the background yellow first and then put on the glue. And notice everywhere there's glue, you will see the yellow paint, and the glue protected it from turning orange and red. Turned out really nice. These bigger ones right here, this row right here is from whenever I applied the glue on wet. It still worked when the fabric was wet at the bottom. So that was a little test I did, and you get kind of a thicker line from that. And then this was the bottom where I did the sped up time-lapse video. So this one turned out great. Behind me are professional batiks, and I think these look a lot like those. And then this is the one where we added the sunbursts with white first, so we didn't paint the fabric first. We actually put the glue on the white fabric, let it dry, then added yellow on top, and then put more glue, and those are these little dots around the edges to preserve the yellow. And then finally we did the dark green and light green on top. And I just love how this turned out. Some of my little smiley faces inside the sunburst did turn out. Other ones look more like paint splots, but really I think this one turned out really good as well. So the cool thing about this technique is you could then again add more glue onto the green areas and let the glue dry and then paint blue over top and then remove the paint again. If we wanted to keep going with that fashion, but we decided to just stop at the green, and it turned out so nice. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see how your batiks turn out. I can't wait to see how your faux batiks turn out.